Hey guys, it's Gabby. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be discussing things that I hate in book covers and give you examples of what I think are some of the worst book covers. I recently did a video about some of the best book covers and like things that I love about book covers, so I'll go ahead and link that down below. So I thought it'd be a lot of fun for today's video to do the complete opposite and talk about things that I hate about book covers. So my number one thing that I really hate about book covers is when there are real people on the covers. I feel like this just makes a book cover so ugly and there's like no creativity to it, and I feel like I'm not able to imagine the characters as I choose to because, you know, someone was already chosen for me and put on the cover. So examples of this would be Vampire Academy by Rochelle Mead. Unfortunately, these are some of the worst covers that I have seen, and the cover change were not any better. They were pretty much just like really plain and boring. But I have the 5th book of the series. I don't own any of the other Vampire Academy books, but you can see on the back all the different covers of the Vampire Academy books. So this is the original, like this is number 1. What I think is ridiculous as well is that each person, each girl, looks different to me. The girl on this cover definitely has really blonde hair, and she has more like brown hair, which is crazy. I mean, at least she's the same person, right? Another example I have is Hex Hall by Rochelle Mead. I like the idea that they had with like the black cat, and I like the mirror image. I don't like the fact that it's, you know, a person on the cover, and also I don't get like the school uniform and the dress. Like, I get the school uniform because, you know, our main character is sent to like a reform school for like the supernatural, and she's a witch. So I get that, but like, I don't see how that picture depicts a witch. I feel like they could have executed this so much better, and it could have just been a lot more creative and a lot more pleasant to look at as well. Another terrible example is the Delirium series by Lauren Oliver. Once again, just really, really bad. So I could just go on and on about pretty much people being on the cover, and I really don't like them. But those are just kind of like the top 3 that come to mind when I think of like the worst covers. The next thing that really bothers me are cover changes when an amazing cover is switched to a crappy cover. The Across the Universe trilogy by Beth Revis was changed from a beautiful book cover to this. So originally the cover change was done because they never did like the original cover for Shades of Earth, which is book 3. I don't really like these book covers. I don't understand like why there's like metal and why it's so industrial, and I really don't like the covers at all. The next thing that bothers me about book covers are when the author's name is a lot larger than the title. And I mean, I get it because we want to give recognition to the author, but I also think that the title, like the title should be the main thing of the book cover. That's just my personal opinion. And so when we get a book cover like this, where the author's name is massive, and I mean, you know, the title is still fairly large, but it's mainly Nora Roberts' name on here, and unfortunately, like, all of her books are like this. I have a thing with, like, scenery type covers. I'm not too much of a fan of, like, mountains or the forest, the beach. For some reason, the beach really gets to me. I don't know why. It just seems so bland to me. Next, I want to talk about boring covers. For example, Meg Cabot, Every Boy's Got One, and this is the like the Boy Next Door companion series. It's boring. The drawing's okay, but there's nothing like spectacular about this cover. I kind of like the back of it, and I mean, I get it. The main character in this book is a cartoonist, so I guess the title or the cover is drawn semi like a cartoon, I guess, but to me it's still just kind of boring and it doesn't really catch your eye. It's just like white with a little picture on it. The next book also falls along the lines of like boring books, but it also goes into my next category, which is book covers that have nothing to do with the book. You can't have pretty much the entire summary of a book on the front cover. I get that, but at least have some sort of like symbolism or, you know, something that at least gives us an idea of the story. A great example of this is Size 14 is Not Fat Either by Meg Cabot. This is actually the sequel to Size 12 is Not Fat, and this is the cover to the first book on the front. And once again, like, I don't understand the covers. And what's up with like all the colors, like the border? Why is there so many colors? And then why is there like a girl taking off her shirt? And then this one is just a picture of a dress. No, I don't get it. Like, it's so boring and it's not unique. Like, this cover has nothing going for it. Even though this series is pretty fun. It's about, we follow our main character, and she is an assistant dorm director. Some of the students go missing and there are murders that are happening in the dorms, and I really liked the story, but I would have never gotten that from this cover. Like, if I saw this, I would think it's like some sort of like weight loss book. Not like a young adult contemporary romance. I'm sorry, adult contemporary romance book. Poor Meg Cabot, I have another one of her books, and that is She Went All the Way. So this is a standalone, and we follow our main character, Lou, and she is a screenwriter, and she gets sent to somewhere in like the mountains and like where it's really, really cold and snowy. And she's stranded there with a famous actor that was in one of the movies that she wrote. The two of them are like stuck on this mountain in this cabin, and they're just kind of basically trying to get along, and that they really don't like each other. And it was good. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun, pretty cute, contemporary adult romance. But like, what up with the cover? Like, why is there a girl wearing a sandal in snow, and why are there rhinestones on the sandal? Like, what is the point of all that color? I don't get it at all. Another great example is Someone Like You by Sarah Dessen. I don't understand like the two people on the beach with their feet. It's been a while since I've read this book, but I don't think there's a scene in this book that has anything to do with beaches at all. Basically, we follow our main character, and her best friend ends up and they're in high school, and her best friend is pregnant, so she's trying to help her best friend get through this pregnancy in high school, and she's also like having trouble with like her love life. I remember she's like dating someone, but I think he's pretty bad for her, and so she's like dealing with that, like getting out of like a bad relationship, along with like working things out with her best friend. So, I mean, I don't see how that has anything to do with the beach, and why there's like bare feet like intertwined in the sand. I could be wrong, because I mean, it's been a while since I've read this book anyways, but either way, even if it had, you know, even if this book was like set, like the setting of the book was on the beach, I still don't think that the cover is that great. It's still kind of boring to me. And my last category is when book covers have too much. So we talked about book covers having too little and being pretty boring. Now, book covers that are just too much. A great example of this, and I'm sure there's gonna be a few people that disagree with me, but I really don't like the cover of the Lux series by Jennifer L. Armentrout. It's like really, really shiny, and usually I like books that are pretty shiny, but it's like, I don't know if you can see, there's like little crystal type in the book cover, so it's like holographic kind of, and it's too much. Like, there's too much color. There's like no dark color to really take away from all the bright blue. And then what's up with like the half face? This is the second one. It's just even more blinding. Like, she's so pale, and then she's got this like streak of blush, and it's really, really bright. I'm just not a fan of these at all. Alright guys, well that is all my thoughts that I have on really bad book covers. Comment down below, let me know some of the things that you really don't like about book covers, and also give me some examples. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next time in another video. Bye!